A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and we pray for the peace and blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal upon our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, his companions, and all those who have been struggling on this noble path till the day of judgment. My dear respected audience, inshallah, today we want to have a look at some of the key features of willpower, Iraada. Indeed, when we know them very well, then when we are nurturing them and when we are making use of them, in short, when we are managing them, we will be able to manage them effectively. Lack of detailed knowledge about the features of willpower may land us into situations that we may not expect or we would have not anticipated. You would think that you have a strong willpower, but you come across a simple thing, then it kicks you or it lands you down. Why? Because you don't know much about the features of willpower. So, number one, we said it has a capacity unique to what the individual. Number two, we say irrespective of the capacity at all. Once you start using it, it will get to some time that it will get depleted. Number three, we say don't worry, it is renewable. Number four is also that willpower is highly affected by emotion. Highly affected by what? Emotion. Your state. You remember that we said the pillars of willpower. One of the pillars we said what? State. State. I mean, your state. That is, if you want to what? Form it. Your state matters. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you worried? Are you anxious? Are you angry? In which state do you find yourself? It affects the production of the willpower. Not only that, it also affects even the utilization of what? The willpower. You want to decide to do something? I mean, but then you are so worried, you are so anxious, you are so angry, you are so sad. Your willpower or self-regulation and self-restraint, it what? Affect you completely. But sometimes when you are too excited or when you are too worried, the decision to do or not to do things is affected. And like I said, we will be taking these points one by one, maybe giving examples of researches that were conducted in these fields, and then giving scenarios and situations in the life of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to buttress whatever we are saying so that it will be more practical. For example, when we said emotions will affect it from morning to evening, emotional fluctuations that you go through will affect it. And from morning to evening, the way you have used your willpower, getting to the end, it becomes very weak for you to do this thing. And then we say it has a limit. All these things is boxed and seen in the sunnah of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam never does anything after Isha. Just after Isha prayers, you find our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam closing the chapter for the day, and he wants to go and what? Sleep. Because at that point, the willpower becomes a bit what? Weaker. And if you are to stay, you will give decisions that will lead you to doing things that will not be beneficial to you in the future. That will not be a contributory deed to the achievement of your vision in the future. It will be things just for you to achieve immediately at the immediate time, and then that will just benefit some of your desire, physiological desire, and that is all. That may even have a consequence for you in the future, like overeating, over talking, over discussing unnecessary things, revealing your secrets to others, not being able to resist as to how to browse on the internet. So you over browse, go on social media, haphazardly just consuming your time for nothing and for nothing. The next thing we also will mention over here is that routines are things that actually support willpower. If you have to take a decision on something every day, and each decision you take will reduce the potency of your Iraada and the willpower, then one technique is that convert that decision taking into a routine habit, so that every day when you get up automatically, you do it without thinking into detail, and that will actually save you from deciding, making a decision on that one. And for that matter, it reduces the strength that you need to put in order to decide. For example, if you had already decided on which clothes you are going to wear each day, and you had already decided on which, let's say, footwear you are going to wear, which food you are going to eat each day, and it's a timetable already known and it's pasted. Your family knows, your wife is aware, your children are aware. So everything of the day, all resources are prepared in accordance to that particular timetable. So when you wake up within the day, you are not yet to decide which food to eat, and for that matter, which ingredients do we need. You check that ingredient is not there, and for that matter, you have to go and get that one, or come back again, scratch your head and change it. The more you are thinking about those alternatives and making those micro decisions, they go to affect the potency of your irada, your willpower. Which clothes your wife already knows, so she had already ironed and placed them. In terms of clothes, Obama is one of the perfect example to give. He was so specific about what to wear, and determined long time, maybe a month ago, what to wear every day is already there. So you don't get up to decide those things. So developing routines to actually replace key activities within the day, converting those key activities into routines, is something that will save you energy. It's more or less like some of the sub features. It saves you energy on how to maintain the potency of your irada, and you are not using it by heart. And then also your environment. Already we have mentioned environment as one of the key centers. You are producing your willpower. Depending on the environment that you find yourself, somebody will produce another willpower that will counteract your own, and for that matter, diminish or destroy your own completely. You had already planned and had a list of diet things that you need to eat within the day in order to get a balanced diet so that you lose your weight and so forth and so on. But somebody's irada developed in a negative way, to eat chinchenga or to take cake or any other thing that would have destroyed your original plan, and that person bringing it closer to you, motivating you to also do before you realize you are into that one. Maybe you are developing your willpower that you don't want to listen to music more, you don't want to do this, you don't want to, but unfortunately, because of your environment, somebody kickstart that thing. Not only that one, some of the people, when Satan is unable to enter you, Satan enters them, and they will rather become the agent of Satan to convince you to also embark on the wrong deeds that they are doing. So before you realize that your willpower is tampered with and crushed completely. So Allah Azza wa Jalla warns us in Surah At-Tawbah that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you those who believe, ittaqullah, fear Allah wa kunu ma'as sadiqin, and be with the truthful people, those who are very steadfast in doing the good deed. Let's be with them so that they will not, the other people, unlike the other people, they will always develop good deed with strong willpower to support our own. Till our next episode, that we will talk about other features of willpower and other conditions of willpower to make it understand very well. Till now, we've not entered into the principles for development of what? The willpower. We are talking about what? The features. Please, in this Ramadan, don't go and use the decision of Kose, Pinkaso, Koko, what and what, deciding and wasting your time on all those plans to reduce your willpower, your irada to read the Quran, your willpower to embark on tahajjud, your willpower to embark on what? Recitation of the Quran, azkars, and so forth and so forth. Plan those one already and let it go normal by what? The plan, so that you don't waste time on that. Until our next episode, we'll say, Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.